Hello everyone, I'm Autobot Sonic, a Telltale Gamer, bringing you some Telltale games, Transformers, and more. Welcome back to yet again another video on Transformers EarthSpark. So it has been quite a while since I've done an EarthSpark video properly. The last one I did was about a month ago when I did a video on the Season 1 finale of Transformers EarthSpark, and I cannot thank you guys enough for the love that you've given me on not only that finale review, which is almost at 10,000 views after a month, but just the entirety of my EarthSpark review series in general. All my reviews have garnered anywhere from about like 1,500 to almost 15,000 views over the course of the past year. I think the most popular reviews are episodes 3, 9 and 10, 13, 14, 19, and 25 and 26. So thank you guys so much for all the love on those. It means the world to me. In terms of just other stuff before we get on to the main point of this video, I want to talk about just a few things of where I've been. So I've kind of been taking a break just from YouTube for the past month now, just trying to get myself make sure I don't burn myself out on content. So I've just been going hard on EarthSpark stuff for the past year now, and I don't want to necessarily burn myself out when Season 2 is still quite a ways away. However, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm done with EarthSpark content as a whole. As you saw earlier this week, I uploaded a little characters and voice actors video highlighting all the main voice actors for Transformers EarthSpark Season 1. That video has almost 800 views as of being just about less than a week old. So thank you all so much for the love on that video, and I hope that it keeps going as the months go on. By the end of the year, maybe we get to 1,000 by the end of December. But anyway, I've got a few other videos coming up that I'm just gonna branch over talk about here first. First off, in regards to EarthSpark, we got this video coming out right now that you're watching that is talking about a very important thing that may be involved with Season 2 of EarthSpark. On top of that, though, there are a few other EarthSpark videos I want to make. Specifically, I hope to get this out by the end of November next month, if not definitely by the end of the year, and that is going to be a huge 3 to 4 hour video essay on the entirety of Transformers EarthSpark Season 1. That will just be me reviewing the entire season as a whole instead of just going over each and every episode one by one. This is more so just going to be talking about the season as a whole, all of its themes, how the stories of each episode connect to each other, if they do it good, if it does it bad, how does it compare and contrast from other Transformers shows before it. Just a general review of EarthSpark Season 1, and it's to show the cast and crew of EarthSpark, who, if any of you are watching my videos, just how much we as a community love your show. On top of that, many of you may have been wondering that if I'm going to be doing a Let's Play on the EarthSpark video game that just came out last week called EarthSpark Expedition. I'm happy to say work on a Let's Play of EarthSpark Expedition is already underway. Just about earlier this week, I got a code from Outright Games, the developers of Transformers EarthSpark Expedition, to receive a free copy of the game. I went ahead and played through the first 2 hours of it, and I absolutely love the game for what it is, honestly. It's a really fun time. So hopefully part 1 of that Let's Play will be coming out, if not by the end of this month, definitely the first week of November. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. And then hopefully going into December and January, February 2024, we'll be making more Transformers EarthSpark videos, basically going over stuff like tier lists, ranking every episode of Season 1 from worst to best, ranking all the Terrans designs, ranking like Legacy Autobots, Decepticons, ranking all the big fights in each episode, the music, and so on, so on. So I hope you guys are all excited for all that. So if you are, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. And be sure to also follow me on Twitter, where I'll be making a bunch of updates on my YouTube career as well. If I got like stuff about updates on videos, I might be posting sneak peeks of that. I'm also looking in the future to perhaps maybe start up a Patreon before Season 2 comes out, where maybe I can give you guys like full uncensored versions of my YouTube videos. And by uncensored, that means I mean like swearing and all that, but more so me like doing stuff that would normally get me like copyright claims on this. So if you guys want to see me set up a Patreon to get like early access to my reviews and other EarthSpark videos, let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in, because it's something I've been mulling over for the past few weeks now. But anyway, this intro has been going on for about 5 minutes now. Let's go ahead and jump into the meat and potatoes of this video. So I'm a bit late to this because this news came out about 3 or 4 days ago. I apologize for that as well. I've been very busy with a lot of other stuff. Most notably, I just came back from New York Comic-Con 2023, which I go to every October since 2014. I had a great time this year. Got to see some really cool stuff. And before that, a month ago, I actually went to BotCon 2023, which was just happened to be in New Jersey, just about half an hour away from me. So it's my first time ever going to an actual Transformers convention. I had a great time there, getting to meet a lot of the Transformers Cyberverse and Beast Wars cast. I even got to get a cool few collectibles from BotCon that I'm really happy about, and I got a to record a live script reading of Transformers Cyberverse, of a script that was made specifically for BotCon with a lot of the voice actors. I got to meet Jeremy Levy, the voice of Bumblebee, Jetfire, Perceptor, Whirl, and Rack and Ruin, Jessica Giovanni, the voice of Windblade, Travis Arts, the voice of Hot Rod, Dick Turnhue, the voice of Prowl, McAdam, and so on, and a bunch of other people that I just had a great time with. But that, I've got a video, I've been meaning to post like that whole panel as its own video too, but that will be coming in the near future. Anyway, though, again, I know I said that I would be done with the intro, but now I'm really done with it. Let's go ahead now and talk about what this actual video is about. And that is potential leaks in regards to what is going to be happening with Season 2 of EarthSpark, thanks to all the things toy leaks that have been happening with EarthSpark. So this first batch of news is rather old in comparison. It's about a month old, but still I thought I might as well bring it up because it ties into this whole video basically being a bunch of leaks in regards to Season 2 of EarthSpark. And these are a bunch of Cyber Combiner toys that were shown off at Toy Fair 2023 about a month ago. So Hasbro had a booth at Toy Fair 2023 showing off a bunch of new EarthSpark toys that are going to be coming out in the near future. With these, we have figures of Twitch, Bumblebee, and Robbie and Mo inside these giant Cybertronian-sized exosuits armed with unique cyber sleeve gear, and it seems to be that they have the ability to combine with each other. So for example, Robbie and Twitch come as a package deal here, where Robbie's in this big exosuit with a big like energon rifle, looks like, in his hand. And you can see here, Robbie and Twitch have the ability to combine, where either Robbie's like lower body can be used to act as legs for Twitch, and she gets like super arms and like stuff like that. Or it could be the other way around, where Twitch becomes the body and legs, and then Robbie like combines on top of her. So I don't necessarily know if the Season 2 will involve Robbie and Mo actually combining with the Terrans, but I feel like the fact that they actually have these big exosuits, mech suits, very similar to that of, let's say, Spike and Daniel Witwicky using all the way back in the G1 cartoon, or most recently Noah in the Rise of the Beast movie. I feel like this is something that's going to definitely happen in Season 2, that Robbie and Mo will get these giant mech suits. I don't know if they're going to be upgrades in their cyber sleeves, or they're going to be something that maybe Wheeljack or someone else creates for Robbie and Mo. However, judging by Mo's exosuit design, where it seems like she's got like Twitch's wings in the form of like a cyber sleeve like enhancement on her back, and then she's even got like a big like cyber sword, which seems like an evolution of her cyber blade that she had protruding from her cyber sleeve back in Season 1. I think this very well may be like actual exosuits that maybe the cyber sleeve will allow Robbie Mo to get some sort of apex armor very similar to the one Miko used back in Transformers Primalot. What's interesting about these toys, though, is the fact that, of all things, Mo combines with Bumblebee and not Thrash. Robbie and Twitch combining makes sense because, of course, Twitch is the Terran that Robbie has the closest bond to. But why does Mo bond with Bumblebee? Again, always, it just seems to be that no matter what, whether it's the toys, the video game, or the TV show, EarthSpark just doesn't like Thrash at all. Why? What did Thrash ever do to you guys? Like, why do you gotta leave Thrash out of all the cool stuff? But anyway, I think this might just be a toy-only thing, and that maybe in the actual show, maybe Mo will combine with Thrash instead of Bumblebee. But it's interesting to see it, like, how we're gonna potentially be having combiners and, like, big exosuits that Robbie and Mo can use to help maybe, like, join in fights alongside the rest of their Terran siblings. That'd be really cool to see. However, we're going to switch from that and move on to the next piece of news, which is honestly a lot more interesting in my opinion. This bit of news comes in the form of some toy listings for other Transformers EarthSpark toys going forward. So this is like an older one, about maybe 3 to 2 months ago, where we saw that apparently toy listings got leaked for 4 deluxe class figures of Transformers EarthSpark figures. These were Prowl, Thrash, Jawbreaker, and an unknown character named Aftermath. Now, we had no pictures of these figures for the longest time. We just knew that Thrash, Jawbreaker, Prowl, and this Aftermath character were going to be getting toys apparently at some point in the near future for EarthSpark. Having Thrash and Jawbreaker makes sense, of course, because they were such 2 of the big main characters in EarthSpark, and now that he and Jawbreaker are getting more like deluxe class figures like Twitch, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Optimus have gotten already, it makes sense that Thrash and Jawbreaker are going to get them as well now. What's interesting, though, is the fact that Prowl is getting a toy, because Prowl never showed up at all in Season 1 of EarthSpark, so people were thinking that, does this mean that Prowl is going to be a new character in Season 2? It seems to be that might be the case, because literally just a few days ago, pictures of the EarthSpark Thrash and Prowl toy figures actually got leaked, and so here we are, we have the packaging of the EarthSpark Deluxe Prowl toy, and with it, the toy is nothing special. It's literally just Cyberverse Hot Rod, but just colored to look like Prowl. But what's interesting here is the actual render of Prowl that's on the box art for this toy. And I gotta say, I absolutely love EarthSpark Prowl's design. I love that it's harkening more back to G1 IDW Prowl. I especially get huge IDW 1 Prowl vibes from EarthSpark Prowl's design. It looks to be almost actually a bit of RID-15 Bumblebee, at least in the head design, but if it was white, and he's got Prowl's signature red, like, chevrons, like helm finials, like I know some people tend to refer to those things as, kind of like what Hot Rod and Rodimus have in the IW comics as well. I absolutely love EarthSpark Prowl's design, and hopefully this means that Prowl will actually be a main character going into Season 2 of EarthSpark. Maybe, considering how we had all the Terrans save for, Thrash getting a second parental figure, like we had Twitch got Megatron and Wheeljack as parental figures, Nightshade got Tarantulas as a father figure, Hashtag got Starscream as a father figure, Jawbreaker got Grimlock as a father figure, but Thrash never really got anyone, so if all characters, is Prowl going to end up being Thrash's, like, paternal figure, like, or secondary paternal figure, besides Bumblebee? I don't know, but I think that would be so cool if Prowl really was him. But the question is now, what exactly is the role that Prowl is going to play in EarthSpark? We have absolutely no idea what we can expect from EarthSpark Prowl in terms of, like, what his character is, but if there are some things we can do to sort of, like, essentially give a guess as to what his role is going to be in EarthSpark. So, considering that EarthSpark tends to bring a lot of elements over from the IDW 1 comics, like stuff like Megatron being an honorary Autobot, we have stuff like Tarantulas having his design at least be very similar to IDW Tarantulas, being the fact that Nick Roche, who was the character designer for EarthSpark, was a big part in creating the IW version of Tarantulas. May Cat, who wrote the episode with Nightshade and Tarantulas, literally said that she was inspired by the IW comics, which are recommended to her by Derek J. Wyatt, who was the art director on Animated. So there's a lot of stuff that EarthSpark seems to be taking from IDW. So if by that logic, then it might very well be that Prowl in EarthSpark is based off heavily, in terms of personality at least, from IDW 1 Prowl. And if that's the case, oh boy, we are in for a ride with EarthSpark Prowl, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So first off, I'm going to give a sort of a spoiler warning here for the IW1 comics, if you don't want to spoil on what happens with Prowl in those comics. But in case you are, I'm just going to give you like 5 seconds, put a little time code to say when I stop talking about IW1 spoilers here. Alright, so here we go with talking about EarthSpark Prowl. So in IW1, EarthSpark Prowl is literally, or I keep saying EarthSpark Prowl, IW1 Prowl was literally the IDW equivalent of ACAB. Literally, Prowl is such a bastard in the IDW comics, where he is literally the most evil, twisted Autobot in the whole continuity, where literally he does several forms of police brutality, going behind Optimus's back to do stuff that's claims is for the better of Cybertron and like make sure that Cybertronians survive. But Optimus just has none of it, even though Prowl does so many war crimes throughout the entirety of the IW1 comics. And so if we're going into that, like, granted, of course, I don't think we're gonna have EarthSpark Prowl doing a fraction of the things that IW1 Prowl did, but considering that Nick Roche, the character designer for EarthSpark, previously worked on the IW comics, one of his biggest roles was actually doing a lot of Prowl's writing in the Wreckers comics, where he was a main character in that, and where most of his war crimes were actually on full display. It's heavily likely that EarthSpark Prowl may have some of that anti-hero, lawful evil type deal that IDW1 Prowl had. And that's especially apparent by the fact that Nick Roche has actually went to Twitter, where people are saying like, oh, like, Nick Roche, did you end up designing EarthSpark Prowl? I loved how you designed him and wrote him in the IDW comics. I'd love to have him come back. And he neither confirmed nor denied that he was responsible for writing slash creating EarthSpark Prowl. I mean, he did actually say, though, that he wasn't in charge of writing EarthSpark Prowl's character, but he did kind of give a little tease saying, oh, I had a great time writing Prowl back in the IDW comics. So does this essentially mean that maybe, while he may not necessarily be responsible for creating EarthSpark Prowl's character, maybe he was responsible, maybe he just sort of influenced it, maybe the creators of EarthSpark Prowl are going to take reference from how he created IDW1 Prowl and sort of make that? I don't know, but it's something very interesting we should keep an eye out on. Another thing to keep in mind with EarthSpark Prowl here is going on how his connection will be with other Terrans and Autobots and Decepticons in EarthSpark. One that I'm really excited to look forward to seeing how they're going to interact is none other than Tarantulas. And you might be thinking to yourself, but Sonic, why would Prowl interact with Tarantulas of all characters? What history do they share together in the Transformers franchise? Well, dear viewer, I am so happy you asked, because I am more than happy to explain that. So, actually, of all things, in the original IW1 comics, Prowl and Tarantulas were actually in a relationship together before, in the past of the IDW comics, before the war actually broke out. And this was revealed heavily in the Sins of the Wreckers comic series, which was created by Nick Roche. In this series, we saw that actually, while Prowl was still an Autobot and not so much of a big war criminal as he became by the end of the comics, Prowl was actually in a relationship with Tarantulas, with the two of them working on creating an ultimate Cybertronian that could be basically a task to not only be like an outlier where essentially that they would have incredible physical and mental capabilities, but also be a perfect servant of both Prowl and Tarantulas, acting as their child essentially. So in the comics, this child of Prowl and Tarantulas ended up being none other than Springer, though that's just a whole can of worms for another story that maybe I'll get into another day if I decide to review the IW comics. But the point is, we have Tarantulas already in EarthSpark. What does it say that there won't be some sort of history between Prowl and Tarantulas and EarthSpark if Prowl shows up in Season 2? Not necessarily saying that they will have been a couple or in a relationship during the events of EarthSpark. They might just be friends or enemies. They wouldn't necessarily have been ex-lovers like they were in the IW comics. But it's something to keep an eye out on that I'm really, really excited to see, especially with just how Prowl is going to interact with others. One way that I think would be a great way to actually incorporate Prowl into EarthSpark is to have him be responsible for the friendly fire incident that occurred during the Battle of the Bay. So for any of you who don't remember, if you remember back in episode 9 of EarthSpark Season 1 when Dot is captured by Mandroid, Mandroid explained basically his history to Dot, explained that he was formerly a human scientist in Ghost's robotics division, that he was drafted by Ghost into the army to help create robotics to assist Ghost and the Autobots during the Transformers War. He was stationed at San Francisco during the Battle of the Bay alongside Dot, though the two of them were caught in an Autobot-friendly fire incident that resulted in Mandroid losing his arm and Dot losing her leg. Though we don't know the specifics of that friendly fire incident, we don't know who gave the order, we don't know who caused it or what happened. What if, just to make it like a sort of tie into IW1 Prowl's like war crimes, what if EarthSpark Prowl was the one behind the Autobot-friendly fire incident in the Battle of the Bay? What if, not necessarily he's like pure evil like IW1 Prowl, but what if maybe he was originally the second in command of the Autobots instead of Alita? What if he like had to make a tough call during the war, during that battle? Maybe the Autobots were losing, so he thought the best course of action would be to just go ahead and bomb the Decepticons as they were attacking their own base, and it resulted in a lot of casualties, resulting in a lot of humans killed, especially Mandroid and Dot both losing their limbs in the process. What if Prowl was just so disgraced by this that he just went into self-imposed exile and just never turned back? Or if they want to make Prowl like more evil and like more resentful of this, what if Optimus actually demoted him or kicked him out of the Autobots because of this? Maybe Prowl went behind Optimus's back to do it, and therefore when Optimus found out, he kicked Prowl out of the Autobots and then appointed Alita as his new second-in-command instead of Prowl. That would be such a cool way, I think, to tie back into Season 1, and maybe have that fact that Mandroid was indirectly created by Prowl would be so cool to see. That would be so cool to see. Maybe like all the Terrans and Maltos learn that Prowl was responsible for that, and they're not sure how to feel about Prowl. Like, can they forgive him? Because while yes, his actions unintentionally created Mandroid, he still caused the Maltos and the Terrans so much pain and nearly wiped out all the Transformers on the planet. Can they forgive Prowl for that? And I think that would be such a great message to teach kids, like, going forward. Like, with people doing such heinous things in their past, are they able, or should they be able to be forgiven like years after they've tried to make amends for that? Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about EarthSpark Prowl, and regardless of whether or not any of this is true, I'm really excited to see how exactly EarthSpark incorporates Prowl in Season 2. Now, we've talked about all the main toys that have been revealed so far, that being EarthSpark Prowl, and then the Cyber Combiners with Robbie and Twitch, and Mo and Bumblebee. But I hear you saying in the back, but Sonic, what about that Aftermath character you mentioned alongside Thrash and Jawbreaker? Well, unfortunately, as of now, we don't know pretty much anything about this Aftermath character other than their name, Aftermath. And some people don't even think that Aftermath is actually their name. It could just be a code name until the name of this toy actually gets revealed. Like, for example, while they might be called Aftermath right now, their real name might end up being something like, what if it's just like a name for Mandroid or Nightshade or hashtag, something like that. Aftermath could just be a code name. But what if it's not, though? What if Aftermath is going to be a brand new character that will be introduced in Season 2? What if they are a brand new Terran? That's a theory. That's something I want you to keep in mind for a future video I'm going to be putting out, hopefully within the next few weeks or so. I want to make a part 2 of this EarthSpark video because about a month ago, Dale Malinowski and Ant Ward, the creators and executive producers of EarthSpark, actually had an interview with comicbook.com talking about the success of EarthSpark Season 1 and what we can expect from Season 2. There are a lot of things that were revealed in that interview, alongside another interview that comicbook.com held with Benny Latham, the voice of Dot in EarthSpark. So I'm going to be covering both of those interviews in a future video coming out, where we'll be diving more into what the potential with this Aftermath character could be. And trust me, you're going to want to hear my thoughts on what I believe is going to be up with Aftermath. But anyway, yeah, that's it for this short little update video on Transformers EarthSpark Season 2. As of recording this video, which is October 22nd, we still do not know when EarthSpark Season 2 will be released, though my guess is, considering that storyboards are still being created for it, my guess is Season 2 will most likely be released around somewhere between April and June 2024. Somewhere around there. So still about like half a year away, which gives us plenty of time to speculate more and think about what's going to happen in Season 2. So are you guys excited to learn more about what Prowl could be doing in Season 2 of EarthSpark? How much will he, or will he be like his IW1 counterparts? And what's the deal with this Aftermath figure? If you are, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you guys later.